Welcome to the Nevada Real Estate Post. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm your host, Tim.
And today we have a special guest. We have John.
I'm John Roanoke with Castle & Cook Mortgage.
And today we'll be discussing what's happening in the market and what's going on in lending. So everybody, get ready! Okay, one of the first things I wanted to talk about was an article I read in Vegas Inc. And it talks about homes actually staying on the market longer. And we're actually seeing this as Tim and I experience working with many buyers out there. We're seeing homes that are sitting on the market. We'll walk in, this is me personally, I'll walk into some of these houses going, this is a gorgeous home. Why hasn't it sold? Mm-hmm. It seems priced right, and It's just not selling.
Sure.
And you have to wonder why. Well, then you find an article that says this is kind of a trend. It's starting to happen now. You're seeing the same thing, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. And you're looking at the inventory right now, and you're going from, what was it, around 7,100 now just a month ago. Right?
Yeah.
And now it's jumped up about 600 more houses on the market. So but I will say this much, we do have houses in certain markets like Southern Highlands and other areas that are just really highly sought after. And if it's priced right, it's going to go quick. We had multiple offers on a property down there, whereas we've got other houses right now in Providence where there's just more competition. And if you don't price it right now, you're going to pay the price.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even the people that are priced where they should be, there's plenty of competition. The ones that are getting the buyers are the ones that are going underneath those guys just to grab them, and they are getting offers at that point.
Yes, they are. And some of those too, as I'm calling on those homes, we'll see 2-3 offers in on some of those houses, but the ones that are even priced right or above, that's zero. I mean, zero.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like the home buyers have gotten a little bit more educated, I think, in some of that, where they understand what they qualify for and what they want to do. I've had more buyers approved out looking for longer periods of time than we have in the recent past couple of years. Mm-hmm. You know, it's taken people 45 days to find a property. We've had to update, pay stubs and bank statements to keep their approval ready to go, and we haven't had to do that in a long time. So, it could be, just like you said, if it's priced right, people are all over it, but then you're in a competitive space where there could be, multiple offers. We're calling listing agents saying, our buyer's extra qualified, our buyer's better than that one. What can we do to help make you understand that our buyer's the offer to take?
Yeah, so now in this type of market, it's more important to have a real estate agent and a lender that truly knows the situation that you're currently in with the market. So make sure that no matter what, you have somebody that knows what they're doing.
Well, one of the things too, I mean, you take a market and some of the, I read a lot of blogs, a lot of news that's happening, and there's been people making remarks, just 3 years ago, a house that was $80,000. Now, granted, it dropped tremendously from before,
right?
But a house that was $80,000 is now over $2 million. In a couple of years, some of these homes have actually accelerated up to that amount. Again, depending upon area, but is that real? I mean, for a home to go from $80,000 to $200,000 to $220,000 in a short time, in 2-3 years, that's a huge jump.
It is a big jump.
We've
seen. I think the thing that people look at whenever they're looking at those types of things is they're looking at the window that kind of fits what they're looking at. If I'm buying a house and I see, oh my gosh, that was $80,000, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it hit a market where it's over $150,000 now. Why might I not want to pay? Because I don't think I'm getting a good deal on that property.
Yeah, right.
But back when things were ridiculous the other way, that was a $300,000 house that went down to $80,000 and now it's back to $200,000.
Sure,
so
you got to put
there has
everything
to
in
be
perspective.
some part of where the level is and what makes sense. Mm-hmm. And just when I'm working with people, I really encourage them a lot to understand what their goals are. Yeah. Because if you find a property, you're not buying it to know if it's going to go up or down over the next 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, 2-3 years.
Well, and that's
what are your
it.
goals?
Especially when they're coming to you for a loan. How long are you staying in the house? Are you going to stay in there for 1 year, 2 years?
Big thing to know, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, because that's going to depend on the type of loan program that you want to try to get them into. If they're going to be there for the next 10, 20 years, then obviously you're going to probably suggest something different.
Exactly, and understanding their goals and objectives, and that helps us, the way we work together, it helps us really make sure we're putting a person in the right spot.
It's interesting you brought up that remark about, that $80,000 house that's now $200,000, that was $300,000 at the top end of the market. Mm-hmm. Now, there's also an article out there that says that Vegas right now is top with people underwater. Still top at people underwater. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just the way it is. And then you get you get Vegas Inc., who comes out and says that notice of defaults are on the rise. I mean, like really jumping up. People are starting to now lose their homes.
Right.
What was the percentage of?
Yeah, if you put it into perspective as far as locally, right now, if we track the last 30 days, short sales are only 6.7% of what's actually sold in the last 30 days, whereas REOs are 8%. If you look at what we were at 3 or 4 years ago, short sales were 50, 60% of the sales.
Yeah.
So I mean, for us to see that we're highest in notice of defaults for the nation, that's something to look at. But locally, shoot, we're like going, we're down.
Yeah, but seeing that
we're more of a
seeing that flop though from short sales being lower than bank-owned properties, the REOs, is not a good sign either.
Right.
Because that means the banks are taking those houses and the short sales are not going through.
Yeah, the banks just are not so apt to jump right on board and say, yeah, we're going to give you a short sale approval compared to what they used to do. That's for sure.
Well, and I think again with knowing our market and our areas, we go back to that education piece of what people's goals are, what they're doing. That's just like the one tool that we both use. The Sold Home Alert really helps people understand what's going on in their area. And we found since rolling that out that we have people calling who found out that their property is worth enough that they can finally get out, that they're not underwater anymore. But then you still see people who think, hey, they're out of it, and they're getting that update every month saying, hey, here's where the houses are selling, you're close, but no cigar yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And in certain pockets and areas, the values haven't come back the way they have in the high-end areas. So,
sure. And that's a good gauge.
Tools together.
That home scouting report is awesome, and you guys are getting that from John, through us, so that way it's available to you.
And if you're not, by the way, and you're watching this, make sure to get a hold of us, so we can make sure to get that to you.
Absolutely.
And that way
it's an awesome piece that gives people a little bit extra as far as what makes what are they looking for, what other tools to help them start gathering information from an accurate location.
Sure. So you have the home value side for the sellers, and then you also have the home scouting report for the buyers.
Yes, you can set up your searches and do what you want.
Kind of changing the tune here. Interest rates.
Interest rates, they're great. Everyone's talking they have to go up. Sooner or later, they're going to go up. But we're still doing FHA around 3.5 and VA at 3.5, 3.625 with no origination fee. Our conventional is around 4%. So, yes, there's talk that it should go up. There's other talk from other experts that say it should go down this year.
And they've been talking about that forever.
Low forever. Yeah. We've been talking for 2 years about they're going to go up. So, again, when working with people, making sure they understand that the market is changing.
Sure. It's constantly
Not
changing.
sure where it's going to go. It's gone up some, it's come back some. What are they comfortable with from their payment? Here's where they're at. Let's get them out, make sure they understand the full scope of the market and get them into a house and help them achieve their dreams. And I think doing it quickly and efficiently is something that, by us all being on the same page, is able to happen, especially when you see, hey, it's taking longer for homes to get offers. It's, this, that, and the other. You talk to some of those agents, they might not have it priced exactly right or be in control of that side of it the way they should.
Now, what's the dominant loan type that people are using today?
The dominant loan type for my people is right now conventional, just because it's starting to switch a little bit back to FHA somewhat, but FHA's mortgage insurance used to be a higher rate. It was 1.35% for the monthly component. Now that's dropped down to 0.85. So we've done a ton of refis, helping people save money on that.
Yeah.
But it's back closer to in line with conventional, like a 5% down loan. You might be able to get a better mortgage insurance rate. So I've had a lot of people looking that way. And this thing with the mortgage insurance on the FHA is that still stays for the life of the loan, where conventional it doesn't.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a beautiful.
So again, it's looking out for the person, doing the best for them.
What
and
fits
making
their
sure.
and if they're only going to be in it a limited period of time, then and their goal is I don't want to put it more out of pocket than I need to. Then you look at what gets them the lowest payment with the lowest out of pocket.
Yeah.
We're doing that. We have some down payment programs that are decent right now, really helping people, help get that down payment, get them over the edge. There's, the Nevada Housing Division programs here in town are really good. We just started working with the Culinary Union program, so that's another step in the right direction.
Yeah,
help
that's a
people
huge
get
group
over
here
that
in
little
Vegas.
hump.
It's
you
a
know?
big group here. Yeah.
Right. So I think it's important. But actually, even though we're offering the down payment assistance, I've seen more people lately choose to use their own money to get the lowest rate they can and figure, hey, if I'm staying here 20 to 30 years, I'm never going to have to refi.
Sure. And it
because
makes
the
more
rates
sense
won't
to do
get
that.
lower. So, we've had a lot of people, again, it's a good analysis of what are their goals, what fits their situation, and how do we take care of them the best, like we would ourselves or our friends.
Great. Okay, as you've heard, you kind of heard what's going on in the market. Any closing thoughts for anybody?
If you guys have any needs at all, just make sure to give us a call. I mean, like we're talking about, the reason why we're putting these videos out, one of the reasons is it's constantly changing. And if you're not with somebody that's aware of what's going on with the market, whether it's going up or down, how fast it's going, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. So it's important to get a hold of somebody that at least can steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Closing thoughts, John?
Excellent. I just appreciate you guys letting me be here, and any questions that you have, just get in touch with the guys, and we'll work together to make it happen.
Yankees fan.
All good.
My wife wants to shoot him right now. She's Red Sox, so what are you gonna
Red who? Oh, okay.
All right, everybody. If you are looking at buying or selling a house or any commercial property, be sure to give us a call. I'm Jeff.
I'm Tim.
And I'm John Rono.
All right, and you guys, make it a great day!
My opinion about the Red Sox is I don't know as much as a 9-year-old girl that lives in Boston compared to what I know about any type of baseball. I'll tell you that much.